Today, Ellis Cannon is in. I'm actually doing some recording with a good friend, John Diagardi, in Rome Monument, but I do want to take time to talk about what you're going to be discussing on the program today.
You know, I'm kicking that around. I was just talking to Mia just a few minutes ago, and what a great job she did yesterday. We had a lot of breaking things happening, of course, with the district attorney, and we talked a lot about that. As a matter of fact, the last 4 days, we've talked a lot about Antoine for personal reasons, professional reasons.
Antoine Rose Jr.
Antoine Rose, yes. And so I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go back to my Midland roots again and start talking a little bit about how we can move the ball down the field with an honest conversation about race. You know, we're seeing this morning that we've got shooting in Penn Hills. Can't have that. Police officers. You know, Rossfeld's house is being protested. I'm not a big fan of that. I just think that you've got to let the process play out to a large extent. That doesn't mean we can't have a conversation about really learning more about each other and hopefully trying to diffuse these things as we go on.
One of the things that I have said to many people, you have to have a busy mind to stay on that right course. And one of the things that I've said many times, and it's not really a fault of the youth of today, when you and I were growing up, if you did not decide to go to college, you could graduate and go into a mill like Crucible and make a good, sustainable living. And at the end of the day, you were tired, you had money in your pocket, and it all worked. Well, obviously, these young people today don't have the same opportunities. And of course, we're dealing with all of the issues with race and police. I believe the only way that you're going to right the course, Ellis, is by finding good manufacturing jobs that simply people want to work with their hands, make a good living for an honest day's work, and raise their family. That's one of the ways I believe that we can help a lot of this stuff be eradicated.
I think that that's a great point, and we've talked in recent days about, if not solutions, then how do we, again, move the ball down the field in terms of trying to get away. We always saw team sports as well. That was a huge part of where we came up, and I think a lot of folks in this region, and that was a very powerful element. There are others as well, education, obviously, finances, economics, and we've talked about that. I'd like to have an exchange about what we could learn about each other to the extent we have to go through this divide of black and white or brown. I'd like to think it's not like that, but it is to a lot of people, and maybe we could have a frank exchange as to what we could learn about each other.
Was it just me, or when you grew up in Midland and I grew up in New Brighton and we hung out in places like Ambridge and Aliquippa and Beaver, I just didn't see.
No, you didn't. No, I used to ball up in New Brighton. I can still remember the Y and go up on Sunday nights and play, and you didn't think of it like that. I mean, and that sort of was cleaned up really early. I mean, you know the differences and so forth, but you know, knowing the differences and learning about each other and embracing those things and adding diversity to your life were, to me, part of the way it was supposed to be and the way I was raised up and the way it was reinforced. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many folks that might not have that experience, Rob. And so as a result, they see that right off the bat and then go into corners. I'm going to try to bring them out into the middle of the field.
Please call him today, noon to 3, 866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, or you can text him on the right automotive line, the best deal in town. Ellis Cannon in today for Mike Pintek on KDK Radio. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Rob.